Hello everyone, my name is Imakeo Gaming Daddy and I'm here with another video from Tom Clancy's The Division 2. So, there is a sect of the Division community that's usually unnoticed due to the noise that can ensue from the Division game or from hype seasons. But this group makes a significant part of the community, and that is the solo players, or I dare say the hardcore solo players. Now, from my experience, most solo players engage in all the content in the game and test their abilities to see how well they can run missions or survive in the dark zone filled with enemy agents. Whatever the challenge is, most solo players want to engage and come out victorious. Now, that being said, if you're a solo player, there are 3 tidbits I have for you that will perhaps put your questions to rest or maybe spark up more questions about the Division 2 game. I've extracted this information from gameplay footage, other opinions on YouTube, and from a couple of interviews that the development team has actually put together. So let's dive right in. The first thing that will make solo players happy is that you are able to play every single aspect of the Division 2 all by yourself. In fact, Julian Garrity explicitly stated this in a short Ubisoft update released earlier today. The Division has always marketed itself as a game that can be engaged with either groups of players in a cooperative multiplayer setting or for solo players. So whether you want to make new friends or you just need some time alone to get used to all the mechanisms, the Division 2 will be just right for you. Now, there is one caveat though. Julian did say that it will be vital for you to seek the help of a team for the 8-man raids because the content is actually much more difficult. But I'm sure that there will be 1 or 2 people who are crazy enough to want to solo those 8-man raids. If you're one of those, I wish you luck. The second tidbit that I've been able to extract is the level design and mission structure. Now, within the past 48 hours, the number of gameplay footage for the Division 2 PvE missions has increased expediently. And from these gameplay scenarios, you can tell that the level design is in harmony with what we are used to from the Division 1. Hence, there will be strategic points where solo players can leverage to keep their advantage. The only thing that I don't know is if there are available checkpoints in the missions. Perhaps if a player wipes out or if a team wipes out, they can pretty much continue from a portion of the mission. Now, I can predict with confidence that most of these missions are going to have some kinds of checkpoints, just in case the NPCs gain the upper hand and gun you down. Everybody knows that if you want to successfully complete a mission solo, it's going to involve a lot of trial and error. So this is probably something that many of the solo players will be happy to engage in. Many solo players do not give up easily. They don't mind dying multiple times as long as they're able to learn the systems and progress forward. That's enough for them. And the final tidbit is that the enemy difficulty readily increases in the end game. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but there's an enemy faction that's going to bring the challenge to the Division agents. In fact, they're so challenging that they're going to actually try to occupy areas that you've already gained control of in the game. So they're going to push you and always provide a surprise for you in every scenario. Now, if you can remember, during the E3 season, the developers promised that the Division will come with not just an open world, but a reactionary world filled with surprises. And as solo players, you can take solace in the fact that there is going to be much for you to do, especially with the multiple invaded missions, which is what we used to call incursions in the Division 1, which are going to be shipped with the game. And then there's also the promise of upcoming seasonal content, and there's no telling what surprises we're in for. Hopefully they deliver as they have promised. Now, before we even start running too far off, I'm pretty excited about the enemy faction called the Black Tusks. Now, one thing Julian did say was that these enemies were the most difficult NPCs ever created in a Division game. I don't know, but the hunters still hold some of the best enemy AI that I've ever seen. In regards to difficulty, I think they were a little difficult, but we did have the gear and the resources to be able to take them down as easily as possible. Now, I hope that we can experience this so-called level of difficulty from the Black Tusks when the game is actually released. And I know that our solo community, those that are on YouTube, those that don't even come on YouTube, those that we know of, and those that we don't even know of, are able to enjoy the game as much as possible. This is one of the best aspects of the Division game, and this is coming to the Division 2 as well, where solo players can interact and engage with the world and actually do every single mission by themselves, unlock aspects of the base of operations, interact with the NPCs in the open world, and also enjoy that sense of accomplishment, which is the main thing that a lot of people actually engage in solo content for, to be able to feel like they've been able to do it by themselves without needing any help from anybody and learning the systems as well. So the beauty of the solo play is like a double-edged sword. On one end, you feel like you've actually been able to accomplish everything by yourself, and on the other end, you've been able to also learn and actually self-teach as you've been progressing through these missions. So that's one of the things that I say solo players are in for, and I think that'll be all for now, agents. If you have any more questions as a solo player, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm sure there'll be more developing information being released as the week progresses to the private beta and eventually the open beta. And also, I'm very confident that there are people in this community that might be able to answer your question as well. So that's it. Thanks for listening and watching. I appreciate your time and audience, and I'll be seeing you in DC. Peace.